I'm annoyed that the government's spending best part of 10 million quid of our money to tell us what we should think and what we should do. And, of course, we saw it all 40 years ago. The Wilson government did exactly the same thing. The difference is that there wasn't in those days an electoral commission. As far as I know, the government haven't registered as a participant. So I think it's legally questionable, but morally, I think it was the wrong thing in 75 and it's the wrong thing now.
Many people say, I don't know what I'm going to do to vote, I want the facts. This is the government's attempt to give the facts. And I challenge you to find a fact that you disagree
No, well, let's get cracking, shall we?
Yeah.
We will not join the euro. Well, that was never going to happen anyway.
Well, it's a fact, though. But, it's a fact, yeah.
But here's the big one. The big one is, if we vote to remain in the European Union, according to Mr Cameron's government, we will keep our own border controls. Well, I'm very sorry, but actually, we have an open door now. 508 million people can access this country.
What they say
that is not true.
Well, what they say is we're not in the Schengen Agreement, we don't have open borders, so that will continue.
No, we have
open borders.
We have open borders. 508 million people are entitled to come. 508 million people.
You have to show your passport
have a British
when you come
passport.
into this country.
Look at. You have to show the passport, but the fact is, you can come straight in because we have complete open doors to 500 million people. I love the third point. The UK will not be part of further political European integration. Well, I'm in Strasbourg next week. There'll be a whole series of European directives, and whether every British MEP votes for them or against them, the fact is we get more integrated.
That's the government's stated position. They say we're not going in any further.
Yeah, but it's lies. Every single law that's passed, every single day, integrates the European Union more deeply, whether it's a regulation, a directive or a judgment from the European Court of Justice. They say there'll be tough new restrictions on access for welfare. Well, up to 4 years. All right, we'll do
there are restrictions, yeah.
But I love the last one. We have a commitment to reduce EU red tape. Utterly meaningless. So half of it...
Well, that's why you're there.
So half of it...
Isn't that your job in the European Parliament? You spend a lot of time...
to get outvoted, yeah, absolutely.
No, but you do try and reduce red tape.
I try to reduce it.
You're committed to reducing
I try to reduce
it,
but I've never really won very much in 17 years. Half of these facts are irrelevant because they exist already, such as not joining the euro. But the big one, this pretense that we will keep control of our borders if we vote to remain in the European Union. Our British passport is open to 500 million
One of the things that struck me as the difference between 1975 is, as far as I can tell, there are no maps in there. There's no list of the other European Union members.
No, there's not. There's lots of glossy pictures. I mean, quite what purpose that serves.
Well, it's to remind people to vote,
I don't know. I mean, the difference is that in the 75 document, Wilson did have his own photograph in it, although it was the only thing that he did
that was where he expressed his view and he stayed out of it, whereas David Cameron, we know, is almost daily holding a vote.
Well, David Cameron is, sleeves rolled up and in the trenches every single day. And obviously the world's different now because, obviously the websites and things had not been invented back in 75. The fact is that the government has chosen to spend nearly 10 million quid's worth of our money to tell us what to think. And you know what? There is not one fact in this. There are no statistics in it of any value at all on that key page, just a list of assertions, half of which are untrue.
And how do you feel about the fact that Conservatives campaigning for Brexit, as it's called, seem to not want to have anything to do with you and UKIP, which, after all, is the UK Independence Party?
Well, it's really silly. It's really silly. And, the fact is, I'm working in this campaign with Conservative MPs and with Labour MPs, and I'm working with trade unionists, and I'm working with the new Communist Party of Great Britain, and I'm working across the political spectrum. The fact that it appears to be a choice of Conservative cabinet ministers not to work with us is a bit of a shame.
And will there be a big debate involving Nigel Farage, do you think, before?
Well, I would hope so. I think I do have something to say on this subject. I like to think, actually, that without myself and UKIP, this referendum probably would not have happened.
You didn't, frankly, have the balls to put country before party.